Hey, what's up and welcome. I'm Matthew, the designer and developer. This is my YouTube channel, Coded Design. In this video, I'm going to teach you about color palette. This video is divided into two parts. The first part being the color palette inside a designing program. In our case, it's Corel Draw. And the color palette as it applies to real life and branding. This is what I mean by that. As you can see, this is some sort of a chaos of color palette, just random colors with no meaning and purpose. But as you can see here, these are famous brand with color palette, but there is a meaning, purpose, and intentionality behind. Without wasting time, let's just jump straight to part one. What do I mean by color palette as it applies inside or as it resides inside a designing program? Designing programs makes it easier for you to pick and choose colors and also to organize related colors or colors that you use frequently. First, we have a default color palette or a color palette for the designing application, something that is always there for you to quickly pick colors. For instance, if we want to create a shape, let's create a shape here. And then what we can do, we can use this color palette to change the background color of the shape as we wish. Okay, so this is some sort of an option that design application give you so that you can choose. These color palette, they come in different color format. This might be, or this one is CMYK, as you can see. C for cyan, M for magenta, Y for yellow, and K for 100% black. Usually this color palette is used in print production since print production uses these ink colors. The other one, it's RGB, and the other one, it's Pantone. I am going to discuss about those or show you how to view those in Corel Draw later, but this is some sort of a default color palette. As you work in your page or in your design, you are starting to add different colors. As you can see, this color is added here, but it appears in this section. Okay, if you didn't notice that, let's pick another color. As you can see, this color was not here, but as we pick it, it appears. One more time. This color was not here, but it's here. So we've got this color palette and we've got this color palette. This color palette, it's called a document color palette. As you work in your own document, as you can see, these colors are being added here. This makes it easier for you to choose the colors which are already here. Why? Maybe you might need to choose colors that are already here for consistency or theming. For instance, let's say you've got a header in your design. This is your header. And then from then, let's say the header is this color. As you can see, this color appears here. And then you want to do a footer, okay? Obviously, when you are designing the footer, you might want the footer to be the same color. So instead of coming here and looking at the colors here, you can just come here and create and change the footer to be the same color. As you can see here, we are starting to establish something like a theme. Okay, and then from then you can also change this text to be the same color. Okay, as you can see that it's more better, or it's easier for us to choose the colors here than to look for the colors here. What might be another scenario? Okay, when you have a unique color, a color that is not here like on your default colors. For instance, let's change this to somewhat a different color. Okay, double click here. As you can see, now we are starting to create our unique version of a color. As you can see, the color is not here. So when we use this color, click OK, as you can see, it starts to appear here. So meaning that when you want to use this color, we are not going to go back here, try to some sort of find that color again, or even try to sample it. Okay, we're just going to come here. okay, and use it. So I hope you understand what is a document color palette. Now, what if maybe let's just make an example. For some reason, this is not here, and let me close this one as well. Okay, sorry for that. Let's see, delete color palette. Okay, I want to remove this color palette at all. Okay, I will show you another way to remove it if it doesn't have a way to remove it. Okay, so let's start with this one. Now you are opening your page. For some reason, something happens. This is not here. Where do you get it? Okay, in Corel Draw, let me see. You come here to Windows, and under Windows, you come to color palette. And then let's just quickly check here. This is the default color palette. Let's go to color palettes. Okay, as you can see, we had CMYK. Now it's back there. Let's just delete this one. Okay, now as you can see, that color palette is there. Okay, let's just quickly check. Okay, let's hover over this one. As you can see, this is CMYK. Okay, what if maybe we want to add an RGB color? Let's just quickly go here and click. As you can see, let's remove this one. This is the RGB. Sorry, this is still CMYK. Let's check where is the RGB version. Let me remove the default and remove the CMYK. Let me only add the RGB. Okay, this is supposed to be RGB. As you can see, the color values are RGB. Obviously, you don't want this moving up and down loosely. You want it to go back to where it was. So you can just drag it. I didn't mean to drop it here. Okay. Okay, something like this, and you can delete this one. As you can see, it's exactly where it's supposed to be. And then let's come back to this one. What if maybe you are starting a new page and this one is not here? Okay, let's come back here, color palettes, and let's look for document color palette. As you can see, it's already clicked. How do you close it or move it up or move it out of here? As you can see, now is not here. Now you know what a color palette is, you know what is a document color palette, and also you know how to add and remove one. Lastly, let's go to a more advanced color palette, which is, for now, we have talked about RGB, we have talked about CMYK. Okay, now let's talk about Pantone. Okay, to start with, why these color palettes are important. As I have told you, sometimes you design for screen. The screen that you are looking at create colors from RGB, okay, red, green, and blue. So all these colors that you see in your screen is just a combination of these, okay, of these colors. Let's just say for now it's a certain technology behind colors, okay, how you create or form colors. And then we've got the CMYK. The CMYK obviously works with mixing inks. So these are ink colors. It's used in print production. Okay. Now we've got Pantone, okay, which is Pantone. It's some sort of some colors also similar to the color palette from RGB and CMYK, but the history of Pantone, okay, Pantone was a company, okay, it's some sort of, it was a chemical company, a company that deals with not necessarily mixing random chemicals but around painting. As you know that whenever we talk about paints and other things, they form part of the chemical industry, okay, the chemistry. So number one, what I want you to know, Pantone is a company, or was a company, okay. Then they decided to create their own color palette. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the story came about when people were requesting certain colors from them to mix for them. I think after that they decided to create their own color palette for their own paints, okay. Now, let me bring this into real life as far as my experience goes. Okay, I have worked as a digital designer working in an internet cafe kind of an industry where I was designing for printing business cards, printing profiles. Obviously, I was using CMYK. Then I transitioned from there to be more of a digital designer, a web designer, and designing for mobile app. In most cases, I use RGB. And then I once worked in a pad printing industry. What is pad printing? Pad printing, it's a printing industry where you print on the actual devices. Let's say you have an Apple as a phone or a Samsung. The Apple has got a logo printed into the device itself, the cover of the device. Okay, that form of printing it's called pad printing. So types of devices that might be pad printed are pens, USBs, and hard drives. I hope you get the idea of what a pad printing is. And in pad printing, the type of inks that are used, it's not the CMYK one, but it's the Pantone one. This means that these colors are different from these ones. Maybe what might be different? Just have this picture in mind. Do you think, just generally, from your own understanding and your own mind, do you think the same color that we have, the same ink that we have used to on a paper to print a business card, okay, can it be used, the same type of an ink, can it be used to print a cover of an Apple device or a hard drive or a USB? Obviously, no. What might be the reason behind that? Just by looking at these different types of material and durability. Paper, it's something that doesn't have a long lifespan. Besides that, it is more like sitting on a very well protected environment inside a file or a briefcase or wherever. But when it comes to a phone, it's a device that you use every single day. You are touching it. So we cannot use the same ink that is used on paper on a plastic or on a hard material. So meaning that these inks, they differ in terms of durability. Let's just say the Pantone inks stick more and they are stronger. Okay, so meaning that when you are designing for devices, you are going to use these colors. Then somebody might ask, then how do this happen? Okay, a client, let's say our client, it's PayPal, they will give you a logo like this. Okay, let me just copy this to here. They will give you a logo like this. In most cases, clients don't care much about branding. Big companies do, but your middle, small, medium enterprises or some sort of your average companies, they don't care much about branding. They want things to be printed, but they don't care much about the essence. Sometimes they don't even have a color palette. If you are a graphic designer working in the printing industry, this is the problem that you are going to always encounter. Even big companies, they will supply you with an image like this one and they will tell you this is all what we have. Do you have a brand manual? No. Or maybe they lost it. They thought it's not important. So this means that if you are going to pad print this, let's say they are asking you to print this on a pen, as a designer you will have to sample their colors. In printing industry, we always have some sort of clause or some sort of instructions, more terms and condition in all the printing documents, legal document, in your invoices and in your proof of concept. Those documents are telling the client that the colors cannot be 100%. So meaning that the colors can be as close as they can to their original colors. Remember, we are on the last part of this section, Pantone. But I don't just want to show you a Pantone color palette and that's it. You want to know how is it going to help you in real life. Let's say you are a freelancer. You've been working from home, you have mastered Photoshop and Illustrator and Corel Draw, but you have never worked in the production. And then now your client is asking you to design something that is going to be printed in a device or in a pen. That means this is the thinking that I'm equipping you with. Let's continue. So if you look at this, this is a hex color. It usually works in web design. Okay, we use these colors in web design, but now you need to convert these into Pantone colors. What can we do from here? It's very simple. We are going to create the first square. What we are going to do, we are going to sample this color. Let me remove the border, duplicate this, Control D, sample this color, duplicate this, Control D, sample this color. Okay. Okay, as you can see, this is an RGB version of this color. This is not the Pantone. Now let's convert this into a Pantone equivalent. As I've told you that we always have those terms and conditions that these colors won't be 100%, but it will be like 99.99 because these colors must be mixed. Okay, in a real life print production, in a pet printing company, there is a color specialist, somebody who's responsible for mixing these colors. Okay, usually also there is a software. The one that I've used is Marabou. There is a software, I think it's being supplied by the Pantone company to help you on mixing colors. Okay, so you will give the production guy sample of colors, RGB values, let's say, of these colors, or Pantone, sorry, these Pantone colors, and you will use the software, the color software, put those values there, and you will give them the corresponding colors that he must mix in order to get this color. I hope you get the idea. So now we are here, we want to convert these into the Pantone equivalent. Okay, how are you going to do that? I have showed you how to get the CMYK and RGB. Now let's go to Windows, color palettes. Let's go to color palettes. Okay, here we are going to use spot colors. Okay, processed colors. Okay, processed colors are these colors that you some sort of, what can I say, you can mix them into being. Okay, it's some sort of, you create them, you mix different colors and you get these ones. These ones are spot colors, meaning that the technology is different. Okay, now you can click here on spot colors. Let's go. Okay, this is not what I want. This was a mistake. I hope it's not going to take some time to close these. Okay, we are close to what we want, but we came here by mistake. Okay, let me just click a new document to see if this color palette will be there. Okay, it will be there. So what will be the quickest way to close this? Okay, for now let me just leave it like this because it's going to take time for me to close it, or I can be clever. Let me pause the video so that I cannot affect you, and then I will come back. The only thing that I'm going to do, I'm just going to close this mistake. Okay guys, I'm back. What can we learn from this situation? Mistakes are costly. Okay, let's just go back. Okay, we want to put we want to have the corresponding Pantone colors or spot colors for these. Okay, let's just go to Windows, color palettes, color palette. This is a problem. Again, I am getting these. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause the video again. I'm going to close Corel Draw and open it again. I really don't have a clue as to what I did. That's not a problem. Okay guys, I'm back. In case the layout of Corel Draw is different from what you have seen, this is what I did to solve the problem, because the problem kept appearing and appearing. So I just changed the layout. I came here to Windows. Sorry, I've changed the workspace. So I've changed from default to light. Okay, so now the system some sort of rebooted itself, so the problem disappeared, meaning that we are not using this default, we are using light. This was just a quick shortcut so that I can continue with this video. Okay, so now that we've got this, let's go back to what we want to do. My apologies for this, it's something that I couldn't see beforehand. So let's go to color palettes. Let's go to palettes. Remember what we want to change these colors which are RGB into the Pantone equivalent. So we are going to go to spot colors. Okay, instead of clicking the spot colors, we are going to click this arrow so that we can see some sort of a list of different versions of spot colors. I wish I could not forget, as a bonus, I'm going to talk about this, Roland, okay, in adding into Pantone colors, okay, or spot colors. Okay, so as you can see in these spot colors, we've got the Pantone, as you can see. So inside the Pantone, we want the Pantone, but not all of them. Okay, so I need something called color coated, okay, but I will know it when I see it. Okay, solid coated 3 or something like that. It's been a while since I have worked as a printing designer. I'm now working as a front-end developer, but I've got a lot of experience in printing. So let me, please give me some time to quickly look here. Let's go to Pantone Plus, solid coated 3. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, this is the version that I'm looking for, solid coated. Okay, so as you can see now, we are getting the spot colors and we are getting the Pantone colors. Okay, as you can see, these are Pantone colors. And then what's the difference between the normal color palette? Let me just quickly bring my document color palette, color palette, and I want to click document color palette. Okay, document color palette, and also I might as well, okay, so I might as well bring the default color palette. Okay, my apologies about that, but whatever that I'm doing it for learning. Default color palette. Okay, that's the default, and the document color palette didn't come. Okay, document color palette. Okay, that is it. As you can see in our document, we've got these colors. Okay, as you can see here, the spot colors, they have got this little square thing there. Okay, as you can see now, the values of these colors, it's Pantone 232C or 235 or something. So these are the spot colors. Number one, I was just showing you how do you get the what can I say, how do you get the Pantone color palette. So I have showed you, we've made some mistake, but we have learned something. Let me not close this. I hope I cannot forget. As a bonus, I want to explain the Roland part here. Okay, now what we are going to do, let's just take a box here and let's just give it a color. Okay, which is now, this is not a RGB, but this is a Pantone color. Okay, now what we want to do, let's just go here. Okay, in this, let's start from here. Okay, what we are going to do, let me expand this. Okay, let me expand this. Okay, now I'm going to duplicate everything, and then I'm going to put this right beneath this one. Okay, as you can see, this is the same color system and this is the same color system, but we are going to change this one into the Pantone equivalent. Okay, so let's just click here. Okay, please bear with me. It's been a while. I think now it's more than, maybe, I'm not sure, 2 years or a year. Double click. Okay, it's more than 2 years or a year since I transitioned from a print production designer and a specialist into a front end. Okay, so I might take a little bit of time in figuring things out, but believe me, it's gonna be worth it. Okay, so now as you can see, this is a color wheel. Okay, let's just click where. Okay, here are the color model. Okay, what we are looking for here, I'm looking for, okay, I'm looking for the Pantone. Okay, what I want first, let me click. So okay, this is the color, this is the color view. Let me click on color palette instead of color view. Okay, click on color palette. As you can see, now I've got, since I have loaded the color palette here, and we've got the solid coated tree. As you can see, this is the Pantone version. Okay, what you must notice here, based on the color that we have selected, okay, this system automatically, it has picked a corresponding Pantone color. Okay, let's just click OK. Okay, so meaning that, as you can see now, when we click here, look at this color. Okay, in case maybe we didn't notice exactly what's going on, let's just take a closer look in the second color. So you just click here. Remember, the Pantone colors are already loaded. You just click here, you double click here. Okay, and then from then, this one is already, since we've clicked color palette, we're already there. So as you can see, this is the Pantone equivalent. We click OK. Let's double check that. As you can see, it has got that dot, a spot color, and then you click here. Okay, as you can see, this one, it's starting from scratch. Then we can click on color palette. As you can see, the color scheme, it's a Pantone, and the Pantone equivalent has been chosen. Okay, so meaning that now these colors are Pantone colors. Okay, these are Pantone colors, not a problem. Now let's zoom in to see the difference. Okay, I hope it's clear also to you that this color is not exactly the same as this one. These ones, even me, I can't really tell. There is a difference, but it's a slight difference. But this one and this one, you can tell. This one and also this one, you can tell. The other thing that can help us to quickly see the difference, okay, is to cancel, is to put these colors on a different background, on a colored background. I think that can help us to quickly see. Okay, what can I do now? We some sort of creating an illusion. Okay, we are creating an illusion. Okay, this is how colors work, or this is how our mind processes colors. Okay, our mind processes colors differently when they are placed in a different background. I hope I'm going to achieve that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a different background. Okay, let me just choose. What can I choose? Let me choose this one. Okay, I'm hoping it's going to achieve what we want to do. Go to the back. Okay, as you can see now, this color looks darker and this one looks brighter. Okay, I wish I can find a background that is going to help me to some sort of show what I want to show. As you can see, this background is trying. This looks a little bit darker and this looks a little bit lighter. This looks a little bit darker and this looks a little bit lighter. Okay, let me try yellow. Okay, I think also yellow, it's helping us. It's exposing this color to be a little bit lighter and this one to be a little bit darker. Obviously, as I have said, that in printing industry, we always have those terms and conditions. We always write there that the colors are not going to be exactly, but it's going to be 99.9 or something, meaning that it's going to be close to it. As you can see here, we cannot really tell, but believe me, it's different. However, some companies, they are very strict and very specific. I have been in a situation whereby our company has to rebrand the whole car because the actual orange was not the orange that the client wanted. Okay, so as you can see here, this blue and this one, they are not the same. In closing, I'm happy that I didn't forget about spot colors. Okay, let's say we want to print this picture, but we want this picture to be printed and the Roland machine need to cut the picture, to cut around it. Okay, let me just go, since I'm already here, let me just go show you a simple trick. Okay, the first thing that we can do, we can just create a circle here. Okay, create a circle here. Okay, let's say we want to print around, we want the machine to cut all these circles around so that we can stick them somewhere else. Okay, so the first approach will be to create these circles like this. duplicate, create these ones like this, and then you will do whatever you want to do until you get some sort of let me just quickly show you in this one. Is this what I want? Let me see. No, this is not in this workspace. Obviously, I've changed the workspace. Let's just roll back to default workspace. I hope those color palettes that were here are not going to be a crossing figures. They are coming back again. That's not a problem. At least now we've got a I think they are gone. Thank you so much. Thank God I've been saved by the bell. Okay. This one is not much of a problem. Okay, doesn't want to go there. I don't mind about this. Okay, don't mind about this. But what I was looking for here, I'm hoping it's here. So let's see. So what you will do, maybe you will take your virtual segment tool here. As you can see, I've managed to cut these things that are inside, and I've got an what can I say, a nice cut contour around it. But with Reland now, these lines are not joined together. So the blade, the cutting blade, when it cuts, it always stops where there is some sort of a disjoint. Okay, it always stops. So you are not supposed to have the disjoints because the blade might stop. So those are unnecessary stopping. Okay, and then what one might do, okay, I'm sorry that, but I'm showing you some tricks of the trade. Then from here, you can use this tool that I've showed you in the previous video. You click here, this paint bucket. That means now you've got one outline. Okay, if you cut what we did and remove what we did before and paste this one and put a yellow color there, now you don't have joints here. Okay, this is one thing. Okay, this good and it works, but obviously in terms of production, when you are in the real life environment as designers, we are always looking for time because the client wants it now. So let me just show you a quick trick, okay, that will solve the problem. You just click here and you quick trace this. As you can see, I've got a copy of this. Okay, it works well because these are solid colors. Okay, it's affected by different colors. Okay, and then from there you will ungroup this. You will ungroup this, all of it, delete these, and then take these and combine them, some sort of weld them. Now they are one shape. Okay, then you can check the border. Okay, check the borders around them, and then from then you fit these exactly where they were. Since this is some sort of a copy of these will fit together, okay, perfectly. Don't mind the imperfection. And then from then you will use a tool that we have used in the previous video. If it's your first time, please go and check that video. We are going to use a contour, and then we are going to do something like this. Okay, you can adjust it as you wish. As you can see, it creates some sort of a nice border there, and then from then you can click Control K to detach the contour from the original picture. Okay, from the original red thing. Okay, shape. This is not what I want. Let me zoom in. I want this black one. Okay, only that. And then I want to delete the red one so that I can be left with only this one. So meaning that if we send this to the print production, okay, the printer will print this. But the problem, the Roland printer will also print these lines as they are, these ones, okay, the black one. Why? Because they are CMYK, as you can see here. Okay, what color is this? This is CMYK. I don't need it, so I can close it. It's not a spot color. Okay, as you can see, now we've got CMYK. So this is some sort of an ink color scheme, CMYK. Okay, meaning that the machine will print this. So Roland, they've got their own spot colors so that their machine can detect a cut line, okay, or a cut contour. It's called a cut contour, okay, so that it can detect a cut contour. It's like spot colors. With spot colors, you can come up with colors that don't conform to the RGB and the CMYK. So meaning that you can use them for special commands, I can say. That's what Roland is doing here. So Roland, they have got their own color palette. Hence, in sport colors, we had Roland here. Okay, so we will go under Roland and we will look for okay their machine or their software that processes everything before it goes to their printing. It's called VersaWorks. Okay, but here I'm supposed to see the color for a cut contour. It's more like cyan. Okay, it's a pink color. Okay, let's see. Okay, I will show you later. Let me just show you. The video is getting deeper and deeper into color palette, but I'm hoping you are learning something. Let me bring my default color palette. I'm hoping it's CMYK. Yes, okay, I said it's cyan. No, it's magenta. Okay, so the color that I'm looking for under this Roland color pattern, it's very close to magenta. As designers, we always make mistakes of using magenta, okay, thinking that we have used the Roland cut contour. Then when the final printing comes out, it comes out with these lines. Everyone knows what this problem. So it means that you have used magenta thinking that it's a cut contour, Roland cut contour. So as I've told you, it's been a while since I did this, but obviously experience goes with you. It never runs away from you. Okay, it's like when the Bible said get wisdom and get understanding, and wisdom will never depart from you. Okay, so let's just quickly go under Roland. I'm not sure why my machine is doing that. Okay, I don't want for metallic. I don't want the Roland color library. I might want this. This might be what I want. Not really, but let me just look for something. Not really. Not really, not really. Usually, that color palette doesn't have a lot of colors. Okay, maybe I might trick. Let me click VersaWorks. Yes, okay, this is what I want, guys. Okay, it's just few colors for VersaWorks. Okay, as you can see, this is what I was looking for. So as you can see, Roland has named this as cut contour. Okay, what I want to do now, I want to take this picture. Solomon, this cut contour that we did, as you can see, it's a CMYK magenta. I want to change it to a cut contour. So I'm not going to left click, I'm going to right click. Look at what happened. Okay, as you can see, now this is a cut contour. So meaning that when you use a Roland machine, the Roland machine is not going to print this line, but it's going to use it when it's done printing. It's going to pull back the sheet that it has printed on, and then it's going to cut on this. Okay, guys, I'm Matthew Msingati, the hybrid, the designer and a developer. Obviously, I thought this video was going to be short and sweet, but it's looked like it has become short and loaded with wisdom or techniques. I have showed you everything that you need to know. I hope I'm adding value to you. Please, if that's the case, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you on the next one.